Penn State, the 6 seed, facing the 3 seed in Boise State, the Vrbo Fiesta Bowl, the first of the college football quarterfinal games. In the third, Penn State 3rd and 11. They're up, but only 3 Drew Aller passes. Tyler Warren, who's coming up in minutes. That is a 13-yard score and Warren's second touchdown of the game. That made it 24-14. Boise State gets the ball back. Maddox Madsen finds Prince Strawn. That is a score until you see the flag come in. It's a personal foul on Boise State. You're like, what happened? Hal Schmidt called for hands to the face. It wipes away the score, and then it goes from bad to worse. 2 plays later, 3rd and 25. Madsen's pass picked off. Zachy Wheatley. Boise State had a touchdown, and then it was taken away by a turnover. All of the momentum gone. Penn State still with that 24-14 lead. Fourth quarter, Penn State second down from their own 42. Nicole Singleton is here to be your dagger. And he just runs away from the defense. 58 yards for the score. That gives Penn State the 31-14 lead. Now, Boise State had chances, and when they go back and look at this game, they're going to think about the turnovers, they're going to think about the penalties, and they're going to think about the missed opportunities. Madsen's pass picked off by Zion Tracy. That seals it. Penn State wins this one, 31-14. They are moving on to the college football playoff semifinals. We just heard Bob, we just heard Lewis on the call of that game. Penn State, they did everything they needed to do in this one by shutting down Ashton Jeanty. What is your biggest takeaway with how Penn State's defense performed?
Yeah, I think that. Isn't it, Lewis? You said all week this was going to be a line of scrimmage game. And Maddox Madsen and their offense did the best they could to throw them back in the game and try to use the pass attack to keep the game competitive.
Yeah.
But if Ashton Jeanty's going to be tackled the way he was tackled tonight by Penn State, it's impossible to picture a way that Boise State could win.
Yeah, Penn State knew that their odds of winning this football game went up dramatically if they could limit the effectiveness of Ashton Jeanty, and everything was geared towards that. Absolutely everything, both in terms of scheme and deployment. And then you saw the kind of ferocity and tempo their guys played with. There was always 5, 6, 7 guys at the ball. And if one guy missed, there was 2, 3 more. If those guys missed, there was 2, 3 more. And Ashton Jeanty's looking up going, man, I mean, what do they have, 15 guys out here? They wanted to put the ball in the hands of Maddox Madsen, make him have to win the game. And he tried. But as you see the limitations, right, in terms of the decision-making, maybe some of the play calling when they got down inside the red zone, he's just not really equipped to deal with this kind of defense for over the course of 3.5, 4 hours. It's just wasn't going to work out for him. Ashton needed to make his mark. He just never was able to get going.
And also for Boise State, I just said it a couple seconds ago, this is a game that they're going to look back on and think about the missed opportunities. They missed both of those kicks, the number of penalties in this game, and the turnovers as well. They're going to look back at this game and think, we could have been in it. We had our chances. We just didn't capitalize when we needed to.
Yeah, she said it. Nicole said it. They had their chances.
No doubt.
You verbatim said that coming down the stretch of the fourth quarter.
Yeah, they were there. The score, this 31-14 score is not indicative, and you said this before we went off the air, of really how this game really unfolded. Because there was ebbs and flows to it, right? It looked like in the beginning Penn State was going to run them out of the stadium. The running game, outside zone game was just gashing them. And then Boise kind of calms down. They get a turnover. Drew Aller messes up a mesh point in terms of a zone read concept. Boise moves down the field. Boise moved down the field methodically a bunch of different times.
Yep.
I mean, they had long, grinding, sustained drives. But just like in the NFL and just like every level of football, you get down inside the 20, you got to score, and you got to score 6. You can't score 3. And then they couldn't score anything. They couldn't get 6. They kick field goals. They miss them. Penn State's going to make you pay. And the one thing, look, we said something had to give, right? Is either Penn State was going to crack and let Ashton get loose, or Penn State was going to wear down Boise with their two-headed monster. And you saw Singleton and Allen, they're a load. And it just played out the way that they wanted it to.
It was absolutely relentless. There was a feel to this game early on, too, where I think I looked across the room and I said, it feels like there would almost be a fight in this game. That was, you said ferocity. It was just constant from both sides of the ball. I don't want to take anything away by not getting to Penn State in a second here, but in this new era with Penn State, since we are running out of time, with Penn State looking ahead, they get to play again. They're either going to match up against Georgia or Notre Dame. What's your biggest takeaway in terms of who they will see next in that January 9th game?
Well, they're going to see a team that kind of likes to play the way they do. Teams that like to dominate up front with big physical front seven defenders on defense, like to control the line of scrimmage on offense, and they like to play great, this physical brand of football. That's exactly what Georgia and Notre Dame are. That's exactly what Penn State is. This is very similar to the NFL. At this time of year, those are the teams that rise to the top. That's who's rising to the top right now. The biggest, most dominant teams that can impose their will. That will be a clash of the Titans.
And for Penn State, I don't think it really matters who that. They have their identity.
Yeah.
They're going to play their brand of football, and they're going to find out whether or not it's good enough.
Like you guys said, book those flights to Florida. Guys, thank you so much. It was a fun game to watch. We appreciate it, and Happy New Year to both of you.
Thanks.